For those of you who don't know me, I'm Paul Barnes and I'm the Managing Director of MAP. We've recently rebranded from My Accounts Place. A few of you are a bit confused, asking me what company I'm working for, and I'm working for the company that organised this tonight. But we've not actually made a public announcement of the rebrand yet, so you're one of the first to know. Started about 4.5 years ago, started the business, and we started doing the digital roundtable quite soon after, and it's always been very, very popular. We ran it in Manchester, and then the guys at Digital Lancashire got in touch and asked us to start running the events up here. So if you don't know what to expect tonight, it's very informal, very relaxed. We always bring a guest speaker, and delighted to have David along tonight, who is going to be speaking about operational excellence, and I've seen his presentation before and it's very, very good. David's got a very impressive background and worked in some really big agencies where they've had to be incredibly slick operationally to do what they do. So I'm sure you'll get some great takeaways from David tonight. Once David has spoken, we'll have time to do a quick Q&A, so just be thinking about questions whilst he's talking. Get your money's worth whilst he's here. And then we'll have a short break, and as I know you need to go because of fasting, that's fine. And after the break, we'll do our roundtable format, which is where you have an opportunity to actually be selfish and talk about your business. Bring all your problems and things you want to show off to the table, and let's see what we can do to help you out and give you some value to take away today. So that's enough about me. I'm just going to do a quick few minutes on how to be regularly rejected on pricing, because obviously that's what we all want. The reason I decided to talk about this is because I know that over the last couple of years there's been additional pressure on pricing for the services that a lot of you provide, and my concern is that agencies are kind of starting to lose a bit of the confidence in the way that they're able to charge a premium price for what they do. So today I want to talk about some of the problems with competing on price, some of the issues that that's going to cause you if that's what you're doing. I'm going to talk about some best practice, so what I see the best, most profitable agencies are doing. Obviously they're the ones that I like, and that's what we're trying to advocate, is businesses that are able to be very profitable. So I'm not saying they're the best, but they're the ones that are able to make the biggest margins, what it is that they're doing. We've got a free online tool which you can all go and access, and happy to use that, and that'll just help you to objectively understand the right price for you to charge. A 5-step process for you to all go away and implement into your business to charge the price that you should be charging. Before I start, I'd just like a show of hands for who of you at the moment feel like you're pricing based on what you see as the industry standard. So the prices that you put in your proposals, the prices that you come up with your clients, it's kind of been loosely based on what you feel like the industry are charging. Yeah. What worked in the past? So you're judging future proposals based on prices that have felt right in the past. Anyone? Okay. Your own perception of value, so what you feel is value to your clients. Bit of that. What your mate in the pub told you should charge, or your client's mate in the pub told you that actually there's someone in Poland who can do this for half the price, and therefore you lost the proposal. Any of that? Any other way? Anything that I've forgot there? Anything that I've missed?
Asking the client how much they've got to spend.
Okay.
That's always a good way.
Yeah, so that's kind of understanding the budget, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. And that's about understanding their spend, isn't it, as opposed to the price. It's the budget, but it doesn't tell you what kind of the price per unit per hour is. Okay. So the problem with all this is if you're charging a price that's kind of reacting to the market, then it's far more, and you're trying to compete on price and not compete on value, then you're more likely to attract the wrong clients, because those that want the cheapest price tend to be the pain in the arse clients, don't they, that cause you grief further down the line as well. So you're doing them all these favours by helping to make this affordable for them and discount and give things away for free, and they pay you back by being an absolute pain in the neck and expecting, and it's because you gave away so much from the start, they've got used to the idea of giving them an inch and take a mile. You also end up providing the wrong services, because the whole thing about charging a premium price, and this is why I'm talking about being regularly rejected, is that price is only going to attract a certain demographic of clients. If you're charging a premium price, it's only going to charge a small demographic of clients. And the reverse of that is that you're just reacting to the clients needing the services that come in the door, and you end up shaping this business that was never what you intended in the first place. Which means that you make little or no profit and you have a lack of cash, which ultimately puts your business at jeopardy. The compound effect of all of this, I've talked about these numbers before and I think people find it quite interesting. If you look at the bottom line effect of price increases or price decreases, typically, people talk about profit margins for agencies of 20%, 25, 30%. The reality is, the agencies that we work with, the agencies that we see, if they're making upwards of 10% as a digital agency, they seem to be reasonably happy with those margins now. If you take a 10% digital agency now, and you were to increase the price that they charge by 10%, can anyone work out what the impact will be on profit for that business?
Depends on what the break-even really, what their profit was on the original amount.
So it was 10% before, so you had a 10% net margin before, you increased price by 10%, there's a 100% increase in profit. So only a 10% increase in your price and you've doubled your profit margin to 20%. So I think what I find is a lot of people kind of asking themselves the wrong question, which is, will my clients pay? If I increase, will my clients pay? Which is the wrong question, because the reality is many people will say no, but those that say yes, you're now making 20% instead of 10%. You're not here to please everyone, you're here to build a profitable agency. So being regularly rejected on price is normal, and it's what you should be expecting to do. So the alternative for me, and this is why no one can tell you what price you should be charging, you have to go through a process of working it out. And this is about deciding what business you want, deciding what you want to get out of your business. What do you want personally, and therefore what does the business need to do to give you what you want personally? And then that's what you call profit, effectively. What's the profit you want to generate in the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months to give you what you want personally? And decide what that is. Don't just get another year, still not made enough money. You've served a load of clients, you've served a load of staff, paid their salaries, but have you actually got what you want out of your agency? So to decide what you want to get out of it. Secondly, you need to understand the running costs of running your business. So on top of your profit, you've got these running costs. And then you need to work out the capacity, the amount of time that is available from the team that you have. So you can do this on a simple spreadsheet, work out all the people that are in your team, how much they can realistically be utilised, whether they're part-time or full-time, and you'll work out the capacity hours that are available for you to charge for. And then what rates you need to charge them at to give you what you've decided you need up here. So the tool that's available on our website will show you all of this, but all you do is work out the capacity that's available and the costs of running your business, and this will tell you very factually what rates you need to charge for your business to give you the profit margin that you've decided that you want. And hopefully it won't be right for most people, because you're not setting yourself up to serve most people. You're setting yourself up to service this demographic where you are going to deliver exceptional value to them, and for everyone else, you're too expensive. So the Profit Maximizer tool on our website does exactly that. You put in the salaries of your team. You don't need to put the names in. You put the salaries of your team. You put how much you think they can be utilised, so how much of their time they can spend on chargeable time, and the overheads of your business, and that will tell you the rates per person, what the turnover will be for your business next year, and what the profit will be if you were to achieve those rates at those utilisations. And again, David's going to be talking more about how you actually then go and recover that time that you've said is available. So that's the Profit Maximizer tool. I've actually set up another business. We set this up about 16 months ago. This is a SaaS product that's specifically for accountants, and it was designed to solve this problem for accountancy firms. We now have 450. It was 400 yesterday, and we went to an event and signed up another 50 clients on this application, and it's designed to help people to produce proposals very quickly using prices that you've predetermined in the back end of this application. Really, really simple technology, and we've got just accountants knocking down the door to use this. because it takes away the emotion of pricing on services. You know, you want your account managers going out and you want them to help the clients to buy the right services. You don't want them choosing the prices. You decide what prices your business needs to charge by following the process we've just been through, and then they go and sell your stuff at the right price. But this is not my stuff. This is a guy called Lee Goff who's in the States, and by the way, we're sending the slides out on the Facebook community afterwards, so you'll get all of this. Lee's going to be flying over to Manchester in July, 19th of July, Beth. Lee took 13 years to build £1 million agency, and then 3 years to build a £3 million agency and sell it. And for the last year, he was working like a few hours a week in it. And he put a lot of these systems and processes in place so that he knew that his team were delivering the service and carrying out the processes that he would if he was doing it all himself. And he's designed this proposal template that won him very sizable contracts with very sizable companies, and he's made this template available. And some of it might be a little bit Americanized and a little bit heavy, but the process by which you build the proposal is really valid. So that's available on his website for free. So 5-step process: work out your ideal client profile. Accept that for 99.9% of the world, you are not the right agency, and for 0.1%, you are absolute superheroes that deliver incredible value. Think about doubling your price just because it gets you into the right mindset. So often, again, what happens is you get rejected on price and you start to get nervous and lose confidence and talk about reducing your prices, and we've just shown why that is a really bad idea, because that 10% profit agency before, if they were to reduce the prices by 10%, they're now making nothing. So get your team together, get your leadership team together. Let's just think for a minute, you know, if we didn't have the option of reducing our prices and we actually had to double our price, what would our value proposition need to look like? What would our client profile need to be? What would our message to market be? How slick would we need to get? What would this business need to do in order to justify twice the price? Because if you start thinking in that way, then suddenly increasing your prices by 10% doesn't seem so far-fetched. Then actually go and update your rate card. So it's okay saying that this is what we're going to do, but unless you've embedded it into your proposal tool that I talked about before, or your rate card, whatever it is you use to quote, then it's always going to be this thing that one day will increase our prices, but you've actually got to go and do it. Announce it to the team, so make sure that everyone's really clear on 1, your prices, and 2, your value proposition and why you are the best in the world at what you do. And then 5, update your proposals as well. So if you've got a proposal template like we talked about before, make sure that your value proposition runs right the way through that. I appreciate I'm kind of preaching to the converted here because some of you are marketing experts, but it's amazing how many agencies talk to their clients about doing this, but they don't necessarily do it themselves. So making sure that all that work you do when you have those leadership days and you talk about vision and strategy, that it actually filters right through to your proposals and the way that you communicate to your clients. So that's it from me, very short presentation, but all this really is just about building a business on your terms. The great thing I think about entrepreneurialism is that you get to decide. You get to decide the business that you want, the rates that you charge, the clients that you want to work with, the services that you want to deliver. No one's telling you when you get up tomorrow what you're doing. You can decide. You've got the ability to decide and to make decisions, and just make sure that you get back to building this business that's on your terms and gives you the life that you want.